Hello and welcome to Data Sunrise functionality demonstration video. In today's video, we will discuss steps to configure Data Sunrise to integrate with the native auditing capabilities available for Postgres RDS engine, the PG Audit extension. You can use this strategy in order to audit direct connections to the database which bypass connections via proxy. Let's first check what needs to be configured on RDS service side in order to enable this feature in Data Sunrise. Firstly, for our database of interest, in my case it is PG Audit Trail Demo, we have to create new custom parameter group and fill it with the following parameters. Here you can see in parameters comparison the different values for my custom parameter group. These are log connections, log destination, log disconnections, log file name, PG audit log, PG audit role, and shared preload libraries. These parameters are required in order to enable particular roles which are used by the PG audit extension, as well as to add PG audit into the preload libraries list. After you configure this parameter group, you should attach it to your database instance and reboot it so that it becomes in sync. I have already done this, so my parameter group now is in sync. Next, you have to connect to your RDS directly and execute the following queries. These queries are aimed to create the particular roles, to check the preload library list, and register the following extension required for the audit, as well as to check the role if this created role is aligned with the PG audit extension. After these configuration actions are done, let's proceed to next step. Next, you have to create a special IAM role with the following policy in order to allow your EC2 instances used as Data Sunrise proxy to read data from logs of RDS. I chose to read logs only from my particular database instance. Next, you have to attach this role to your EC2 instance using attach replace IAM role option in instance settings. Finally, this is all configured. Let's proceed to the dashboard of Data Sunrise and configure the rest. Let's go to configuration, databases. Let's view our instance page. Now it is possible to add the new auditing strategy using this new button trailing the DB audit logs. Let's click on it and configure our instance. Let's choose the interface of interest, the server on which this functionality will be working, the region of our RDS, which is US West 1, database identifier, which can also be retrieved from the configuration page of RDS. And finally, let's configure authentication method. In our case, it is IAM role. Let's hit save button. Now we can see that our trailing DB audit logs is active. Now, using the default audit policies created upon the first installation for my database instance, I will be auditing direct connections. Let's connect to our database and execute some queries. Okay, we've got some data. Now let's disconnect and see if our session and actions were recorded by data sunrise. Let's refresh transactional trails. And here we can see our session and actions which we did during the session. As for proxy sessions, you can also examine basic and session info, the query, which was captured using a trailing DDB audit log, as well as we can examine session details, including the parameters. So, to sum up, in today's demo, we discussed and showed how to configure RDS PG Audit extension in order to work with recent data sunrise functionality, trailing the DB audit logs for AWS RDS Postgres instances. Now you can use this feature in order to audit bypass connections, ensuring even better database security in clouds. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.